Personally, I love the original Game Boy, but I feel like some of the games for it are more like forgotten relics nowadays. So today I'd like to pay tribute to the original Game Boy and take a look at some of its games in the A to Z format. If you haven't seen my previous A to Z videos, I have chosen games at random, one for each letter of the alphabet. This way I'm mentioning both familiar games that you've heard of and ones you may have not. Also, I do throw in the occasional import to keep things interesting. I don't think I need any more exposition than that, so let's take a look at some games. A is for Alleyway. This launch title for the original Game Boy is an Arkanoid clone featuring Mario as the pilot of a spacecraft. Is there anything Mario hasn't done? B is for Boxel. This puzzle game is a clone of the Japanese computer game Sokoban. It's better known as a warehouse worker's worst nightmare. C is for Crystal Quest. This is a port of an early game for Apple computers. Pilot a spaceship collecting crystals and avoiding enemies and obstacles. D is for Daedalian Opus. In this puzzle adventure game, you're piecing together jigsaw-type puzzles to advance, and its password system is actually fairly easily cracked. E is for Elevator Action. This is a port of the classic arcade game from Taito, and if you ask me, I think this one actually looks a little bit better than its counterpart on the NES. F is for Fortified Zone. Fortified Zone is an overhead run and gun set in a maze-like environment with a mild puzzle and strategy element, which is pretty neat. G is for Game & Watch Gallery. Before the Game Boy was the Game & Watch games, here are 4 examples of the vintage handhelds. H is for Hatris. It's like Tetris, but with hats. Match them up to clear them away. Unlike many Tetris-derived games, this one was designed by Tetris' creator. I is for Iron Man, Exo, Man-O-War, and Heavy Metal. This crossover of Marvel and Valiant Heroes was ported to numerous consoles, and it sucks on all of them. J is for Joe and Mac Caveman Ninja. Play as a caveman out to rescue some cave women in this arcade port, and it looks pretty good in monochrome. K is for Kid Icarus of Myths and Monsters. It's a sequel to the silver-labeled NES classic and has really unique vertically scrolling platform stylings here. L is for Lock and Chase, old school arcade game of cops and robbers. There's really something familiar to this game, but I just can't place it. M is for Mystical Ninja featuring Goemon. The Ganbare Goemon series is pretty popular in Japan, but not so much here in the US, but they're still all worth a look. N is for Ninja Gaiden Shadow. While not a real Ninja Gaiden game, it's still a pretty badass platforming game, and I really like this grapple mechanic. O is for Operation C. This was the first Contra title developed strictly for the home market, and it really does the series justice for what it's worth. P is for Pokemon. I actually never played a Pokemon game until doing this video, and I can't lie, I actually found it pretty darn fun. Q is for Kicks. Taito's 1981 arcade puzzler is as addictive as ever on the small screen. This one will either give you fits or be impossible for you to put down. R is for Roland's Curse. Here is an overhead adventure title with role-playing elements. There's no battery save here, but there's a 2-player mode, and that's pretty different. S is for Solar Striker, a vertically scrolling overhead shmup developed by Nintendo. How about that? I love this genre of games, even though I am terrible at it. T is for Tetris Blast. Another Tetris spin-off. This one has bombs mixed into pieces. I only wanted to shoot a minute or two, but I ended up playing it for an hour. U is for Universal Soldier. What does this game have to do with the movie it's named for? Absolutely nothing. Accolade stuck the license on a sequel to Turrican. V is for Vegas Stakes. It's a gambling game, nothing special here. Personally, I only play at casinos for the comp booze. This is totally not my thing. W is for World Heroes 2 Jet. Takara made some surprisingly decent ports of Neo Geo Fighters on the Game Boy, and characters here aren't totally chibified. X is for Xenon 2. Hey, remember that painfully slow, vertically scrolling overhead shmup on the Master System last A to Z? It's just as slow on the Game Boy. Y is for Yoshi, a port of the puzzle game for the NES. Match up tiles or stuff them into eggshells, but don't let them climb too high. I'm not very good at this one. Z is for Zen Intergalactic Ninja. A true product of the times. Platformer about a ninja from outer space with an environmental theme, based on a comic book. Alright, there we go. The original Game Boy had nearly 500 titles to its library, and then top it off, a lot of the Game Boy Color games, the ones sporting the black cartridges, frequently also worked in the original monochrome Game Boy. So there were quite a few games you could play on this system. A lot of them might seem kind of primitive nowadays, but I still feel that a lot of them are worth checking out. Hope you've enjoyed this installment of the A to Z. If you want to see more, please let me know. Leave a comment down below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care. If you like what you see, feel free to check me out on social media. Otherwise, you can subscribe to this channel. I do new videos every Friday, sometimes on Wednesdays too. Once again, thank you for watching. Take care.